Beautiful. Okay, so as we were, allow yourself to arrive in this moment, looking around the space that you find yourself within. Let's just start moving. You know, we're here standing, looking around this space so that we have a sense of where we are within this world. All of these pieces of the puzzle are orienting us to be present in the here and the now. Meeting this moment we find ourselves within. And then as you're ready, just moving again, like I said before, moving one hip, two hip, forward, forward. And if you're standing forward, like leaning forward slightly, releasing your legs. To be so real with you, I think I've said this before, but to be so real, I used to literally be scream crying over my kitchen counter while doing this. Kind of got it out faster. So we can do that, moving our hips, speeding it up, slowing it down. Just allowing ourselves to remember that emotion is energy in motion. As we know, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it needs to move. It is asking to move, to shift. And so by leveraging movement in an intentional way, we don't have to go on a run or climb a mountain, but we can allow all of these things that have been suppressed to begin to move out of the body. If at any point you find yourself yawning, that is a great sign of release. And if you find yourself, as we do, just being like, I don't want to do this anymore, leave it, return another time. There's no have to here, genuinely. So we've done our hip movements. I'm going to remember what I said, just shaking your arms, shaking your legs out, as if you're trying to get something off, like get off without it hurting, for our hypermobile ways. And you'll just notice it, like, wait, we're not done with the hip shaking. Perfect, let's get back into it. Shaking your arms. Bringing breath on top, weaving breath through. Again, I often notice that when I'm moving, like the way that I feel shifts quite quickly, because we're speeding up that slow release process. So any sudden shifts in emotion that you're noticing, just allow yourself to honour that emotion without having to attach a negative feeling to it. Emotion being the biochemical cascade that's taking place, feeling being the label, the story that we identify that with. Interesting points there. So we've moved, we've shooken. We're going to take our double breath in through our nose. So at the top, release out the straw. Checking through your body for areas of tension. So I was just stood there with my legs locked, moving forwards, but you can allow yourself to drop into your hips, and then normally we're shunted forward like this these days, but allowing yourself to move backwards so that your head, instead of being held forwards, shifting so that your head is like on top of your neck instead of, I'm dreading to think what that looks like. Great, cool. So up and back, same with your shoulders up, back, down. Cool, now we're moving into alignment. Instead of locking our legs as we're prone to do, shunting everything forward so that you're sitting in your hips. And it's not about doing what you think is right. Within this, it's about finding what feels good. And we're simply drawing awareness to it so that you've then got the option to adjust and adapt in whatever way intuitively feels good. Okay, so double breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Trusting that through this movement, we simply are going to feel better. It's physics. It gets to be this easy. It's allowed to feel good. In through the nose one more time. Out through the mouth. Beautiful. Now welcoming ourselves further into this moment, choosing your still point in front of you. Both hands. And then Keeping your eyes on that still point and then drawing your arms out. You may notice that your focus is shifting, and you also may notice that you've got that drifting feeling. As you release that tension, allowing awareness and presence of the still point in your hands moving out, all the way out. Just notice how far you can still see your hands as both hands are spreading out either side of you. And drawing it. While we're here, because it's interesting, this is like one of the prime examples of how the mind creates the body. So let's do this. You've probably done this before, but I'm going to invite you to stand forwards just as you were, placing your hand here. And now just see how far you can draw your arm backwards without turning your body. So arm forward. See what's happening there. You can see that my hand is here. Draw it forwards. Now as we breathe in and breathe out, the invitation is there to imagine how it would feel as you move your arm back, further back. Imagining how it would look to draw your arm further back, visualizing your arm drawing further back. When you're ready, placing your arm forwards, again, not moving your body, but just following that image as you draw your arm further back. Is mine further? And it's almost weird, like I'm just imagining it moving further back, and it is. Right, cool, bring it one more time. Closing your eyes. As you imagine moving your arm back so much further back, all the way back, noticing how your shoulder is loosening and relaxing. Like those tendons even, and fibers are loosening and releasing, and when you're ready, drawing your arm forward and allowing your arm to float back, drift back, all the way back. Just imagining, can it go even further? Releasing any constraints, moving it further back. Brilliant. Right. 1, I need to stretch more. Number 2, how interesting is that? What changed? The perception of what is possible. So, what did I say we're going to do next? My toes is itchy. And again, you can run it with the other side if you want to. So weird. And again, sometimes it can be interesting to just run these things quickly. I think we're so often told that you have to slow it down, right down, all the way down, enter into a place of presence through slowness. I feel that it's more about working with what is available to you right now. And so with some clients, we work super slowly, creating so much space, slowly dropping in. And other clients, they work best when we're gunning it, running it. Tell me about this. Notice that feeling. Double it again. Like either or is perfect and brilliant, and it really depends on what you need at this moment of time, with the understanding that all of this is open to shifting. Okay, so now we're going to play with our breath so that we are further bringing our awareness to the body. So breath in, out, in, out. Something interesting you can do is on the breath in, shift the breath to the back of your throat and out again. So there's a compression in the chest as you push it back. And you can feel that breath running down your back, running through further, running closer to your vagus nerve, which again can be really interesting practice. So here's what we're gonna do. Remembering our hands, love it. Placing this here on our third eye. blocking, releasing the left. So we're going to breathe in through our left nostril. Pinch, release the right, breathing out of the right. Breathing in through the right. Pinch, release left, out through the left. In through the left. Pinch, release, out through the right. In through the right. Pinch, release left, out through the left. In through the left. Pinch, release right. In through the right. Pinch, release through the left. In through the left. If you've got that rhythm, you can continue, but it's also interesting to notice that as you become more comfortable and you're like, okay, I understand the routine and the rhythm of what we're doing here, you can then close your eyes down and draw your awareness up to that point of your third eye and placing your awareness there. Acknowledging that when we're first doing these, it's a bit like, okay, there's a lot going on here. But you'll notice that as the less you try, the easier it becomes. And that is across all of these practices. The less you try, the easier it becomes. So that it's a process of being as opposed to doing, trying. If I try really hard, I'll get great results. Less you try, easier this becomes, better results you get. Brilliant. It's kind of the antithesis of what we're led to believe, but so much of this work really is dissolving what we've been led to believe that simply is not true. It's true in the sense that you're experiencing it, but once you release that perception, no longer true, and you're getting better results. So as and when you're ready, here, in through, and always start on the left. So place in through the left. Out through the right. And as you're doing that, drawing your eyeballs up, all the way up, noticing that flickering sensation as you breathe in. Release. If you want to continue, you're welcome to hit that space bar to continue until that feels complete. But if you are, because it's new, being like, what's next? Let's move on. So we've done our breath. And then the thread that I also wanted to touch on, which is going to come back to me. Oh yeah, havening. Okay, so this is something that you can do, which feels really nice. I'm just going to put this down so I can show you. So get your hands like this, and then, so you get your hands like this, and then placing them underneath your collarbones, and starting on the left, rhythmically, not bashing yourself, but with like a good amount of presence there. And like with any of these practices, allow yourself to go at the speed that you start with the intention to slow it down. On that physiological level, when we are moving slowly and methodically, you're telling the body we're safe, we've got the resource of time, we don't need to rush. So that's butterfly tapping. And that again, we're bringing in this sense of balance so that you've got space to then drop into this sense of spaciousness within you. Love it. What you can then do is take both hands and then move them down the outside of your arms. It's called a havening technique. You can do it on both sides. I'm not forcing the breath, but leveraging the fact that breath is a very good tool for us to leverage. And you're doing that on both sides. And with all of these practices, doing it as long as you feel comfortable. We're kind of PDA proofing by not being like, and for 3 minutes, it's for as long as you need right now. Okay, so with all of these pieces of the puzzle, and you can do them standing up or sitting down. If you are sitting down, be sat on quite a thick cushion, not a bed pillow, but I would recommend when they become available, when you're in a position where you can get one, depending on like where you're at in the world, is like a proper buckwheat bolster. Whenever I try and do these things without these pillows, it admittedly is much harder to breathe. So that's always something beneficial, so that you're kind of sat like this instead of like that, curled over. So what we're gonna do now, well, you're gonna sit, or you're welcome to sit, because if I sit, hello, it's a bit far down. But let's talk about moving into, let's talk, as we're here, the time is ripe, we can talk about shifting into a state of hypnosis. To be so real with you, a lot of modern practitioners don't use inductions, as in formally breathe in, breathe out, shift down, all the way down, becoming aware of the time, place, and space being within your body. Because the truth is, the truth is the trance state is a natural state and we're in it all the time. I'm in it right now. You may also be in it I know that I'm in the state of trance right now because instead of being here at like the front of my head, there's this feeling for me. And trance shows up differently for everyone. Prime examples are when you're on your phone and you've been scrolling for a while and there's that sense of timelessness. Anytime that you look up and you're like, wait, what's the time? Trance. Anytime you're driving and you find that you've arrived somewhere and you're going, hold on a minute, how did I get here? You're in trance. You were just leveraging automatic processes to get to where you need to be. So it's a super natural state and it's one that we can leverage. It's often leveraged against us through advertising, media, propaganda, movies, music. So we may as well learn how to leverage it ourselves. So we're going to use inductions. I like them. For someone who is very fast paced and at this point in time is prone to being very busy, I like an induction. I find that a lot of people enjoy them too, of being guided in, relaxing into the process. But other people will come in and be like, well, you don't technically need to be relaxed in order to use hypnosis. True, you don't need to slow down in order to use it. True, but what you do need to do is draw your awareness within. A really simple way of doing this would be me asking you to imagine that you can look inside your body and you can find a cottage. And as you drop your eyes down, noticing where it is that you can find that cottage, noticing that if you cannot see that cottage just yet, simply imagine how it would be to find a cottage within you. And as you notice that cottage, maybe seeing it, sensing it, or feeling it, however it's showing up for you, begin to notice the details. The roof, the colour of the roof, the bricks. Standing outside that cottage, becoming aware of your presence as you stand outside that cottage and as you breathe in. Becoming more comfortable inside yourself, becoming comfortable within your body. I'm going to invite you to draw your awareness forwards to the current present moment as you open your eyes, re-entering this space. Interesting. There we go. So it's that, for me, it's a feeling of shifting. For you, it may be different. What we're doing there is we are hijacking your attention. Imagine a cottage. You can only imagine that cottage through the subconscious mind. So we're automatically activating that pathway. And then by drawing your awareness towards noticing the details, we're pushing you further into the subconscious. What we're doing there is we're bypassing the critical factor of your logical mind. Often it's seen that that logical conscious mind that is aware of like 5% or less of what it is we're experiencing around us. The conscious mind is the keeper of the unconscious that is running the show. But we often, because we are so disconnected from the true nature of ourselves, we believe that we're our thoughts. We identify as the I that we currently are being within this paradigm of life. And so it's so interesting to leverage this state of hypnosis, because then you can become aware of possibility. You've got a greater sense of spaciousness. And the reason that we use it therapeutically is that when you're operating from this dissociated state, you can go very lightly and gently into understanding on a deeper level the current problems that you perceive yourself to be experiencing, and you can glean the lessons and the insights from what's happened in the past, while also removing the emotional attachment to what's taken place in the past. And that emotional attachment is showing up today as physical symptoms, as aches, as pains, as tension in the body, as emotional patterns that are showing up. Because the brain is designed to protect us, not so that we can thrive, but so that we can survive. And so the mind works on a predictive mechanism based on what's happened in the past, based on what we've inherited epigenetically. So it's super interesting. But I'm not saying this to be like, and we need to just stay in the past forever. We have a mechanism that is primed and ready to adapt once it knows that it's time to adapt. So again, if we're designed to survive, not thrive, we're going to be hyper aware of threats, of negativity. That is why content on the internet that's negative skyrockets. Whereas someone being like, isn't life great? Everyone's like, what's the point of you saying this? You're not helping me be safe. So by allowing ourselves to update our methods of prediction, we can feel more safe and whole within the present. Beautiful. And again, this is what's so interesting, is that the past is literally the memories that we're holding with the emotions that we've attached to those memories that we are projecting into the future. So this is how this works. Something happens in the past, we have an experience, our unconscious mind is going, hold on a minute, did not enjoy that. What happened? Well, this was a circumstance that I was in. This was what was happening. Right, cool, let me adjust. Let me move their prediction bias away from what the unconscious mind perceives to be the source of pain. So often the issues and the challenges that we're navigating is really a faulty prediction mechanism. This is what we're working with. So if we did want to do a more formal induction, here's what we're going to do. We're going to leverage natural ways that we can move into trance. We're going to show you the first one, which is quite a fun one. I'm going to invite you So I'm going to invite you to place your two palms together. What is key here is that your palms are pushed together. And then you want to get your two pointer fingers, raise those up with your thumbs crossed. Key here is that your palms are being pushed together like so. And then I'm going to invite you to pull your 2 pointer fingers apart. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you that you're going to notice where you are as you realize that there are 2 magnets, 2 powerful magnets on either side of these 2 fingers. And with each beat of your heart, those magnets are going to be increasing their strength, increasing their power. And you may even notice that those magnets start to draw your fingers together. And as those magnets draw your fingers together, you're dropping into a state of hypnosis. The simple act of your fingers drawing together is dropping you into that state of hypnosis, of inner awareness. As your fingers draw together, noticing that shift. As each breath you take helps you to feel more comfortable inside, as each breath that you take draws you deeper into that inner awareness. If you haven't already, closing your eyelids down, right down, all the way down, as you drop into this inner awareness now. And then opening your eyes. Interesting. Cool. So again, what's so key here is that hypnosis, what is key for you to understand is that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. It is guided by other people sometimes, but also we're in that state of self-hypnosis all the time. When you're working with a guide, such as myself, my role is to really shape and mold the experience in terms of, I'm going to be asking quality questions. I am going to be giving you the suggestions and the prompts. I'm going to be kind of identifying the doorways that you can then choose to open and walk through, gaining the insights and the understanding of what is currently beyond belief, giving you access to different sources of perceiving and receiving your experience of life. But in terms of the physiological shifts, what's so brilliant is that you're the one generating that. So this process really is about giving you back the power. But even to shift that language, this process is really about you being guided to remember your level of power and insight and impact and intellect that you hold within your life. Instead of having to be dependent on someone else, we're giving you the tools and the keys and the access points so you can follow these lines of inquiry, shifting your state so that what once felt like a huge weighted problem is now a genuinely piece of the past, so that you can move forward from this place of calm, clear clarity with deeper levels of compassion and understanding for yourself. So, final induction that we're going to explore today that we'll likely be using together, mainly because I like it and it's more of a relaxing experience. So sitting down, finding a position that feels comfortable for you. You may want to be lying down. Again, you're welcome to do all our work in a chair. I recommend it doing lying down though, or on a sofa with a back so that you can tilt your head back should you need to. Some clients bring soft toys, stuffed animals. Other people bring fidgets, toys. Other people like to have pillows both behind and around their necks. And also being conscious of the clothing that you're wearing. Nothing worse for me than having a wedgie while trying to enter into hypnosis. Distracting. So allowing it's less about how you look coming onto the call, and it's more about knowing that you've got the resources and the materials that can support you and hold you through the process, which is important. Comfort genuinely is key, so that you don't have to be hyper aware of discomforts. So here's the score. Here's what we're going to do. When you're ready, keeping your head set for now, knowing that when we move into this process, you can move and adjust at any time. If at any time you need a break, including in the sessions, you need a bathroom break, a break in general, that's not going to ruin the work that we're doing. Hypnosis is a pliable state. It is like, it's down to ride, it's down to be moved and shifted. You can come out of trance and then be dropped 10 times deeper into trance easily. It's all possible and it's all available beyond what currently is a perception, is a belief. Like, it's genuinely all to play for, which is great as we explore these realms of possibility. Okay, so What we're going to do is we're going to look up, because that is creating a state of alertness. We're going to keep your eyeballs up, all the way up, looking up as high as you possibly can as you breathe in. And breathe out, deepening that level of connection between the conscious and unconscious as you look up, breathing in. Breathing out. Each time you blink, that is hypnosis coming to you, looking up, breathing in all the way in. Keeping your eyeballs up as you breathe out, noticing that your eyelids are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy, dropping your eyelids down, right down, all the way down. Breathing in. And as you release that breath, noticing how the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. As your eyelids are turning loose, letting loose as you drop your awareness within. Allowing your eyes to move and go and flow wherever feels good, forgetting all about your eyes as you tilt your chin forward, noticing the drifting, floating feeling that is arising within your body, becoming aware, present to that drifting, floating feeling, remembering that the less you try, the easier this becomes, this natural state that you're dropping into, noticing now that in front of you there are 10 steps. There are 10 steps, and as you move down, drift down, float down these 10 steps, you are simply becoming more and more comfortable inside. You are becoming more and more comfortable within your body. Simply being here now, finding yourself stepping onto step 10, drifting onto step 9, with every beat of your heart, drawing you in onto step 8, feeling yourself dropping onto step 7, and as each muscle and every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you drop deeper onto step 7, step 6, drifting onto step 5, you're halfway down, you're doing brilliantly, noticing that it gets to be this easy, you're allowed to feel this good, moving on to step 4, noticing this sense of spaciousness that is arising within your body, step 3, stepping down, expanding this sense of spaciousness which naturally is expanding. Step 2, dropping deeper into this state of inner awareness. And as you drop onto step 1, simply notice that every time you hear me click, you can drop deeper, drift deeper, move further, deeper, easier, effortlessly into this state of inner awareness, this experience of calm focus, not dissimilar to that experience of hyper focus, where you are aware, where you are present, where that sense of I is able to dissolve and shift, giving you space to float, to drift, and to melt into this vast expanse of pure possibility. Floating here, drifting here now, noticing within the velvety darkness that in the distance you can see a 0. Remembering that beyond the 0 is the most brilliant space that is a playground for your mind. And as I count from 5 to 1, notice that you are drawing further, drifting closer towards that 0. And as I get to 0, you will pass through that 0 into this vast expanse of play, of opportunity, this expanded state of awareness. On the count of 5, seeing that 0. On the count of 4, noticing that you're being pulled towards that 0, drifting towards that 0. 3, the pull towards that 0 is increasing and expanding. On the count of 2, you're speeding up, all the way up, floating, drifting towards that 0. 1, you're there. That positive energy welcoming you in. On the count of 0, floating through. All the way through, noticing that you're leaning back, so far back, into this vast state of spaciousness, of possibility. Leaning back, all the way back, floating and drifting here, noticing in the distance that there is an activity that your everyday logical thinking mind loves. And as you simply imagine that activity that your logical thinking mind loves, notice that that thinking, logical, conscious mind is moving there, all the way over there, dropping its awareness and focus and interest so deeply into that activity, giving you space to lean back, all the way back, floating and drifting easily, effortlessly into this time and place and space of possibility. Noticing where you are as you realize that you are worth this, you are worth it, because you are worthy. Identifying the part of you, maybe you can see or sense them. Identifying the part of you that is responsible for that sense of worth. Maybe they're hidden away, or they've got a little bit lost along the way, but as you locate that sense of worth within you, with every breath you take, increasing and expanding that sense of worth, of worthiness. Noticing that belief of I am worthy. I am worthy of time, I am worthy of space, I am worthy of support. I am allowed to be here. I am allowing myself to be, to meet with this moment, to be so deeply connected to my body, to honor and support my being, the mission that I am on, my purpose that is becoming clearer to me by clearing away what I am not, so that I have a deeper understanding that I am. And tuning into that essence of the truth of I am. Holding it as a mantra, I am. I am. Nothing more, nothing less. I am. Giving that some weight, tenacity. Almost like I am is a seed that you can plant within yourself, and you can enjoy the experience of that seed of I am, enjoying that seed's growth, intuitively knowing what you need to do so that you can support the growth and the expansion and the development of that seed of the truth that I am. Noticing the leaves of that seed as the shoot grows, the leaves drawing off the truth of I am. I am worthy. I am enough. I am here. I'm doing this. I am understanding that it gets to be this easy and it gets to be this good, that by going within, I never have to live without. I am. Understanding that what we outsource and look for outside of ourselves is available within, once we remember how to gain access to presence, to awareness, validating all that you've moved through, while also understanding that now you're moving into the chapter of remembering You can release the negative emotions attached to the stories we identify as the past, giving you space to be present with the moment. I am. Tending to that seed, noticing that every time you take action in alignment with tending to that seed, supporting yourself, that your unconscious mind is rewarding you with powerful, positive, brilliant feelings, because it gets to be this easy, gets to feel this good. I am. And when you feel ready, returning to that playground, noticing how good it feels to be there, to be within yourself, noticing that simply through deciding it, that you can nourish your body, tend to your cells, really value yourself within this brilliant body. It is the mechanism through which you experience your life. Sounds pretty good. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to draw your awareness forward, inviting yourself to draw your awareness forward, noticing your physical body in the room, becoming aware of the bed and the sensations of that surface that supports you as you draw your awareness forward, moving forwards now. And as I count from 5 to 1, notice that you'll feel better than you have in a long time, gaining access to the resources and the understanding that you need so that you can lead your life forwards with calm, with clarity, with confidence. On the count of 5, I am. On the count of 4, notice that your subconscious mind is showing you through sense or thought what it is that you need to understand now. The lessons you need to learn so that you can release that negativity held within what you perceive as the past. On the count of 4 and 3, drawing your awareness forward, noticing that you can effortlessly integrate all of the shifts naturally generated today. On the count of 2, again being aware of your physical body. Noticing a positive, powerful energy flowing through into you from top, down, left, right, side to side, allowing that energy to go, to flow from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes, welcoming yourself into this moment. I am here. 1. Drawing your awareness forwards. When you're ready, opening up your eyes. Gently, lightly meeting with this moment. And should it feel supportive, bringing touch to your body. That havening movement. Or a butterfly tap, if that feels good for you. Giving yourself space here to resist that natural urge to tap, to check, to do this. Being present with this sensation. This sensation has been here the whole time. I think one of the ways to win within this modern world is by, no thank you, outside world. Let's see what's going on within, so that we can be with ourselves within the world that we are living in. It's not a case of one or the other, but by deeply connecting to ourselves, it becomes so much easier to connect with other people, to connect with this game on this earth plane that we find ourselves within, in my humble opinion. Beautiful. So honouring that feeling, there's many ways you can take it now. Maybe you want to journal or move or do whatever it may be that the rest of the day is asking for you. But I think it's really important to understand that, yes, we're listening to my voice, but you're generating the state, and that state is available to you all the time. And as we do essentially more reps, we gain more experience with this state, this ability to shift the way that we feel. Life gets very interesting. So many of us start this journey because we want to feel differently. We go for diagnoses, we look for labels, we start therapy, talking about stuff because we want to feel differently. And so many of these systems are like, No, I just got a theory for you. Join my ideology. Great, love it so much. However, in terms of feeling differently, this is the way to go. Gets to be this easy, gets to be this good. Working directly with the feeling, leveraging your unconscious to shift the way we feel, act, react, and receive our experience of life. Cool. Right, I'm going to end this now. I'm so excited.